Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Maisa binti Ahmad. My number matric 81A3060. I want to tell the introductions. The Islamic financial institution are institutions that operate based on Islamic principle and guidelines. They are provide financial service and product that comply with Sharia, the Islamic law. Islamic finance is rooted in the principle of fairness, ethical conduct, and risk sharing. Islamic financial institutions such as Islamic banks or takaful company utilize hibah as a means to distribute surplus funds or profits to their customer or participants. This practice is based on the principle of fairness and solidarity, which are central to Islamic finance. Hibah is an important concept in Islamic finance and refer to acts of gifting or donating assets or wealth voluntarily. Hibah plays a significant role in facilitating various financial transactions. The process of hibah involves the voluntary transfer of asset or wealth from the institution to the recipient. The institution acts as the donor, while the customer or participant becomes the recipient of the gift. The hibah is typically granted as a token of appreciation or goodwill without any legal obligation for repayments. It is important to note that hibah is a voluntary act and not a binding contractual obligation. The decisions to grant hibah and amount distributes are the discretions of the institutions. In summary, hibah is a concept in Islamic finance that allows financial institutions to distribute surplus funds or profits to their customer or participant as a voluntary gift. It serves as an alternative to interest-based transactions and promotes fairness and solidarity within the Islamic financial system.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Shamimi binti Muhammad Nur. My matric number is 8182736. I want to present the variety of features of the contract. In the context of Malaysian law, there are various features of the concept and application of hibah as a financial instrument. Firstly, given on a voluntary basis, the grantor has granted the recipient property or right without expensive payment or reimbursement. The goal of gift submitted voluntarily is to lessen the recipient financial burden so that he can live a better, more secure life. Secondly, the transfer of property. Hibah instead transferring ownership of property from the grantor to the grantee. Besides that, lacks a payment requirement. The fact that the receiver has no commitment to the surplus property is one of the grand key qualities. Lastly, having a definitive. As a result, the grant be funded on the grantor unequivocal wishes. Numerous grant applications are used as financial instrument. Grant of will. Hibah wasiat is the term used to describe the act of giving up property freely through will-based inheritance planning. In Malaysia, a testamentary grant is one of the common use of hibah as a financial instrument. Secondly, the charity grant. A charitable grant is a type of grant that has been awarded for humanitarian or benevolent purpose. Charitable donations are based on the giver's free decision to donate their property to the charity in order to further a centered objective. Thirdly, grant for real estate. The act of voluntary referring ownership of land right to the recipient is referred to as a hibah real estate. Landowners are free to donate their land to a particular person or group without expecting anything in return. Besides that, grant for business and enterprise. Grant can be used as a financial tool in commercial setting to provide the party ownership of share or company asset. Last but not least, grant in education. One that is grant to people or organization who support education in order to help with the cost.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Aina Izwa and I would like to continue this presentation with illustration in the contract flow. The first one is hibah can be categorized as which is more a charity and does not require the same condition as a bilateral contract where one party in the contract transfers the ownership of assets to another party without any consideration. Next, hibah contract occur when one is likely to encounter a conflict in jurisdiction between Sharia law and the Contract Act 1950. The last one is principle or contract that are considered to be the main principles in forming Islamic banking product are such as sales contract, al-bay, rental, al-ijarah, mortgage al-rahnu, companies al-sharikah, and profit and loss sharing al-mudorobah, and the last one is saving al-wadika.
Hi, I'm Wanada Nadia binti Wa Musaba, age 183182. I want to talk about advantages and disadvantages of the contracts. Advantages. First, hibah is considered compliant with Islamic principles, making it a suitable financial instrument for Muslims in Malaysia. Second, wealth distribution. Hibah provides an effective means of wealth distribution. It allows individuals to transfer their assets during their lifetime. Third, flexibility and control. Unlike a will, hibah allows individuals to retain control over their assets during their lifetime. And last, estate planning. Hibah can be an essential tool for effective estate planning. By utilizing hibah, individuals can plan the distribution of their assets in advance, ensuring that their wishes are fulfilled and that their loved ones are provided for in a manner that aligns with their preferences. Disadvantages. First, limited scope. Hibah is generally limited to the transfer of movable assets such as cash, stocks, and jewelry. Second, lack of formality. Hibah does not require the same level of formalities such as witnessing and registration, which can lead to potential disputes or challenges. Third, potential for abuse. The flexible nature of hibah may create opportunities for abuse, especially in cases where vulnerable individuals such as the elderly or mentally incapacitated are involved. Fourth, that tax implication. Hibah may have tax implications and individuals should be aware of the potential tax consequences before engaging in hibah transaction.
I will continue with comparison between hibah in Islamic finance and conventional gifting. First, conceptual differences. Islamic finance hibah is fixed in the principle of voluntary giving and is considered a gesture of goodwill. Conventional gifting is not guided by specific religious principle, but is generally driven by personal, cultural, or social norms. Second, religious consideration. Islamic hibah is influenced by Islamic principle and must comply with Sharia law. Meanwhile, conventional gifting is not bound by religion's guideline of restriction. Third, documentation. Islamic hibah typically involve formal documentation to ensure transparency and legal compliance. Meanwhile, conventional gifting not involve formal documentation. It can be as simple as an informal exchange of gift without any legal contracts or written record. Thank you.
The conclusions, in my personal view, hibah is a concept in Islamic finance that refers to a voluntary transfer of ownership or gift given by one person to another without any consideration in return. It is often used in the context of Islamic banking to provide alternative to the interest-based transactions. Hibah plays a significant role in shaping the principle and practice of Islamic finance. Here are the ways in which hibah influence the understanding of Islamic finance and banking system. Prohibitions of interest, riba. In Islamic finance, the charging or paying of interest is strictly prohibited as it is considered exploitative. Hibah provide an alternative mechanism to reward lender or depositor without resorting to interest-based transactions. It allows individual or institution to voluntarily give a portion of their earnings or profits to others, which promote fairness and ethical behavior in financial dealings. In conclusion, hibah is an integral concept within Islamic finance and banking system. It serves as an alternative to interest-based transactions, promoting fairness, ethical behavior, and social responsibility. Hibah encourage benevolence and sharing, enhance contractual flexibility, and facilitates estate planning and inheritance. Islamic financial institutions incorporate the concept of hibah to create a more equitable and Islamic compliant framework that fosters community development and economic justice.